Hi, it's Alicia with Mariposa Ring Slings, and I'm finally making my promised video with toddler carry and newborn carry now that I have my newest newborn, and my twins are now toddlers, as you can see them running around acting crazy. So I'm going to show you again from the very beginning how to string the ring sling and do the newborn carry first, and then we'll show the toddler carry. Okay, so the ring sling is basically just a long piece of fabric. Mine are about 2 1/4 to 2.5 yards long, with the rings attached to one end and the shoulder pad here. So mine's a little wrinkly because it's been used. Okay, so what I usually do to string it is I kind of do a fold in half. It doesn't have to be perfect because you're gonna have to mess with it anyways, but you want the end to be kind of folded in half. So you have your rings on one side and your folded tail on the other, and then you slip it through both rings, and then you grab one ring. See how I have one ring separated? And then you slide it back through just that one ring. See how that looks? It's through both and then back around through one. And then you can pull it tighter. So that's a strung ring sling. Okay, to put it on, I always say rings on your left side, but they can go on your right side too. It just depends on what's more comfortable, if you prefer a baby on one hip or the other. So, hi Emma. So then I say, take your rings in your hand and you just go straight over your head. See that? Straight over your head. So now your rings are on one side. And to loosen them, like if you made it too tight here, you just, that one ring on top here, you just lift it a little bit and it slides out. Okay. So now, since you folded it in half a little bit, you have your little pocket. I always say to make the inside of the pocket a little bit lower against your body, and then that way the top of the pocket can come up either high on their back or over their head if they're newborn and can't hold their head up, if they like that. Okay, so I want it to be a little bit more snug against my body since I'm about to put her in there, and she's gonna be mad probably at first because I'm waking her up. But first, before I do that, I'm going to show you there's two panels here, the inside against your body and the outside here. And if you follow each of these ends through the rings, you can find out where they loop through and tighten each specific one. So like the one against my body here, I can follow it through to this side, and that's this one. So the one against my body, if I needed it tighter, I pull that one. If the one out here I need tighter, I just follow it through and I can pull that one tighter then. And same with loosening. Okay, so the one against my body is pretty tight, and this one's pretty loose. Time for baby. All right, this is Willow. Say hi, Willow. The girls are jealous. They love the ring sling. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you put her up on your shoulder, get the feet folded however's comfortable with them, you know how they keep them naturally. Slide them down into the pocket, keeping a hand underneath and on them at all times. I like to turn their head facing the opposite way here because I don't want our head in my armpit. And then you can pull the sling up over her head here if they like it. Some babies don't like that, and if they don't like it, then just hold their head up for them. Okay, so now you just get it tight on them as much as you and them prefer. I have toddlers pulling on me, so this is acrobatic here. So, and there is, I guess, a pouch carry for a newborn. And that's the way that looks. And see how it's not like super tight here, but it's enough to hold their head up. I have them crawling on me. Hold their head up, you know, give them a little bit of support, but it's not going to be super tight on them because they don't like that. But there it is. All right, that's one of the positions. You always want them close enough to kiss, and that is the safe way to carry them. You also want to make sure that their airways are clear, of course, and that their head isn't dipped down and their chin to their chest, because that's not a clear airway. Okay, to take them out, you just lift up the butt, loosen the rings. I always pull this down so I have easy access to them. And then back, see how I'm holding her, and then I tuck my hand under her butt and lift out. Now the same thing for a different position. You can, when they get a little bit older, she's about a month old now, and you can have their legs out as long as you have their butt nice and secure underneath here. So you want this ring sling to be tucked underneath their butt. She's getting fussy. And you can check under here and pull it up between their legs. And then I'll pull that one against my body a little bit tighter first. And then the outside one next. So. Same thing with the airways and all that stuff. But you see how she's not going to fall out because it's tucked completely underneath under her here. Okay, and then I get it nice and snug against her. And there she's happy with legs out. Hang on them. Okay, so that's another position that she likes. Some babies will prefer one or the other. Some babies don't prefer, you know, any of them until they get a little bit older, and that's okay. Okay, same thing. Loosen the rings, grab her underneath here, and there she is. Okay, last position I'm going to show you can be either way. It's going to be like the cradle position, and you can nurse in this position. You just have to make sure that they're being held up securely and all that, because obviously they can't be super tight into you. Okay, it's the same thing with the pocket, and you just get their legs around you a little bit here and pull it up around them. This one you have to make sure that their body and their head are you know, straight. That way her chin isn't against her chest. And you just do the same thing, tighten it up around here, and make sure that the edge of the sling here is not covering her face. And you can get it as tight as you want or as loose as you want, but she doesn't really like this one, so I'll just show like that. Same thing if I wanted to nurse, I just unclip and, you know, pop it in. All right, so that's the newborn carry positions. All right. Can you get out of her chair, please? Thank you. All right. Okay. The next is pretty much the same thing as the last video that I created when they were like 4 months old. No, don't fight. They love the sling because I carry them all the time. But it's the same pretty much as last time. We're just going to modify a little bit for toddlers. Okay. So we'll grab Autumn since Emma was in the last video. Say hi, Autumn. Hi. Okay. So I'm going to have it pretty loose here because she's obviously a lot bigger. Okay. So what I do is I tuck her completely through the entire thing and put her on my hip. So, you know, just like you carry a kid on your hip, just like that. And just the same as I tucked it under the newborn butt, do it for her too. And if you feel more comfortable, you can pull it up through her crotch in the middle there. And this is going to go across her back, across my back, and just tighten. It's a little less, you know, scientific as the newborn position. And my rings are a little low here, and you can slide yours back up if you would like. You just have to play with it. Sometimes it's easier to sit down, especially with the newborn. But, you know, once you get used to it, then you can just do this. And she'll be 2 in about a month, or they'll be 2 in about a month. And so they still love this, and we just go everywhere. This is one way to carry on the hip. You can also slide them around to your back. They like that too. And that's pretty comfortable. You know, if the rings are cutting into you here, you can move your rings around however you want. But yeah. Say hi, Autumn. Hi. Back around to the front. All right. And that's the toddler positions. It's pretty much the same from when they can hold their own head up. You know, anytime you want to carry them on your hip, you know, from 3 months on. Yeah. All right. Say goodbye. Bye. Okay, one thing I forgot to show you is how to take your toddler out of this position. So now we have Emma, because she was mad because Dixie got to ride and she didn't. Hi! And now Autumn's growing up. Okay, so this is how I love to wear them. So from here, all we do is just hold her up, loosen the rings, real loose, and I pull them out from under her butt, and then I just put her down. Simple. So that is a super easy, super awesome toddler carry, and it's very useful for when you have 3 kids this tiny. So, all right, see you next time.